The good news is you can do this. And I'm going to encourage you, whatever you've been through, my prayers are with you, my thoughts are with you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rolla, clinical psychologist. Welcome all my returning subscribers and my new subscribers. I am excited about another episode 16 of my life after divorce. This is a self-disclosure series about how I've healed from the emotional pain of divorce. I would encourage you to check out episode 1 and the other episodes. Episode 1 specifically talks about why I decided to do this series and all the other tools I've shared with you from my journey. I want to be transparent, so hopefully you can feel that whatever is going on in your life, even though the journey may be difficult, you can heal from emotional pain. This is episode 16, and the title of today's video is My Dating Strengths. My last video was about my dating weaknesses, and today I wanted to talk about my dating strengths. Before I continue, if you're not a subscriber already, please press that notification bell so that you have immediate access to my videos. I would love you to subscribe so that I can have more visibility on YouTube. Now let's talk about my dating strengths. In today's episode, I am going to talk specifically about what those strengths are, why it is important, how it was important for me to identify my strengths in dating even after a 15-year marriage ended, and also how those strengths have helped me since my divorce over 14 years ago. So let me start with, why did I have to start to explore this area as I started on the path of emotional healing? Number one, when you go through emotional pain, you start to re-examine life in general. It forces you to look at yourself and ask questions. Your sense of safety about relationships has been shattered. That causes you to look at people through the lenses of the pain that you have suffered, particularly when it involves somebody that you deeply care about and somebody that you have devoted your life to. Whatever the reason for that ending of that relationship or the betrayal that comes for those of you who are still married or in that same relationship, how you see yourself is being examined, and how you see others and how you see the world in general. For me, I started to ask myself questions such as who I am. Who am I? Am I lovable? Is it that I don't deserve love? Those questions that were making me wonder what my self-value is. And those are very difficult questions to have to ask yourself. I had to explore my dating strengths because I had to revisit my sense of identity. Ask myself some hard questions and do some self-examination. Also surround myself with people that deeply cared about me and could give me constructive feedback. This did not happen as soon as the divorce happened. You may not feel ready to explore that yet, but at some point, I realized and I had the strength mentally and emotionally to begin to ask myself those questions. Initially, it was about just getting by from day to day, and that's perfectly fine. There's no reason to overload yourself with too much of a self-examination or questioning who you are deeply when you have first suffered the shock of the betrayal or the emotional pain. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just to take one step at a time and get through that day. And as you feel stronger, you may need to do this with a professional or somebody who's a spiritual advisor, somebody that you deeply trust, that is not going to shame you because of what you've been through. So yes, I had to revisit my identity. And that involved looking at my entire life, but also looking at my life in terms of my relationships, particularly my main relationship with my ex-husband, which had gone on in marriage for 15 years. And really, he was the only serious boyfriend that I had before I married. So I didn't have any relationship to reference. That relationship is the main relationship that I've had. So you can imagine, for you, if you've been through a difficult time in a relationship and that is your main relationship, you understand how difficult that must be in terms of your identity. I looked at my relationship, my identity romantically and really in other areas of my life. Also, I found that as I explored this path, my strengths helped me to move forward. Not in denial, in acknowledgement of what I've experienced, but also strengthened me to build my self-confidence. It was important for me to identify my strengths, not to use it as an opportunity to brag or to make me feel that I'm better than others, but to make me to have that sense of hope in spite of my pain. When you identify your strengths, you can take it too far to a place where you're kind of hard and rigid and you feel that you have a one-up on others. But I had to balance that out. That is not what this is about. This is to make me move forward in a way that is healthy. I can identify my weaknesses and I can also identify my strength. But I can move forward in hope and I can move forward purposefully. And that is important, not just in my romantic relationships, but also in how I see myself in every area of my life. A third thing that I had to do, and I want to encourage you too, if you've been through emotional pain, is that you do not want to minimize your entire life experience to one outcome. I stood the risk of doing something that is incredibly devastating for anybody when I take everything that I've experienced in my life and I put it within the context of that one outcome. For me, what is that one outcome? My divorce. So I can allow this thought to persist, that because my 15-year marriage ended, and that is the only relationship I'm really can strongly identify with, that outcome determines how I see my other relationships, both romantic and in general. I refuse to allow that decision that was made, that my marriage should end, to impact me to a point where I diminish my strengths. I have to make it clear that some of you had to make the decision to leave your marriage and you don't need to feel guilty about that, particularly if your life was in danger or the life of your children were in danger. You made the right decision. Sometimes people get hung up on who filed divorce first. That is not what I'm talking about here. But the outcome was the marriage ended. That is not going to dumb down every positive thing that I have going for me, both in romantic connections and in other areas of my life. I do not want to be minimized to one outcome that truncates my life, that minimizes my perspective, and that impacts my ability to heal. So I hope you can see now, no matter what you're going through or you've been through, it is important for you to be fully aware and grow in your knowledge and understanding of yourself as far as what your strengths are. That will give you hope, that would enhance your sense of well-being, and that will help you to feel better, even though you've been through a lot of challenges. And then the fourth reason is that highlighting your strengths helps you to feel that you are winning. You know how sometimes people say karma is coming on somebody that hurt them? I tend to not focus on that. Or God will punish somebody that hurts them. My greatest payback for my divorce is playing up my strength. Is a rediscovery of who I am as a person. I want to encourage you to go on that journey, even though it can be difficult, to play up your strengths. Those strengths that sometimes may have been minimized or overlooked because you've invested time and energy into a relationship, which is a good thing. When something happens that is catastrophic, playing up your strengths and nurturing them helps you to pay back for what you went through. That to me is one of the greatest paybacks, growing and strengthening myself from within. So now let me talk about what specifically my dating strengths are. And I discovered this from the 2 main relationships that I had, and also when I did meet and greet with people that I've gotten to know along the way. I have come away from it, even though they ended in a positive way, in a way that I continue to emphasize my strengths even more. And not in a way to be mean to anybody, but that boosts my confidence. I don't live my life with a sense of scarcity. Oh, there's nobody good out there, I'm going to be on the shelf. No, I come with a sense of strength, and I reduce the shame that the world and your life and even you want to bring to yourself, that because something didn't work out, then that means you're a failure. You are not a failure. So let me go specifically into those dating strengths. The number 1 strength I have is that I enjoy relationships. I enjoy getting to know somebody romantically to discover if they're the right person for me. If you've been watching some of my videos, you know I live close to downtown, so we're just gonna keep going. I enjoy relationships. I've met quite a few people along the way that don't need anybody. I'm not one of those. I believe that no matter how strong I am as a person, having a positive person, my own person, in a long-term relationship that will lead to marriage eventually, because I'm not doing the companion thing. God bless everybody who wants to do it. Don't take the marriage benefits and waste my time and then not be sure if you want to commit to me. That's not me. For those who want that, that's fine. But for me, I enjoy relationships. And I believe that people have something to add to me in general. And I believe that whatever my strengths are, there's somebody out there that can enhance me. That is a strength. I'm not so good and so powerful that I don't need anyone. I need good people in every area of my life, and I need that one person. So that helps me to be vulnerable, which is a good thing. Number 2, I do expect that some aspects of my life will change when I am in a committed relationship / marriage. I do not believe it's possible to be with somebody, no matter how accomplished and successful you are, and not make some level of adjustments. And those adjustments are not a sign that you're weak. They're a sign that you're accommodating somebody else in your life. As much as I know that somebody else has something to add to me, I'm going to have to make some changes in my life to accommodate somebody who is committed to me. And that enhances me. I'm getting a positive reward from it. And that is important. Those adjustments are not negative. They're not making you change your value system as to how you see life. It's not making me denounce my spiritual values. I'm not changing my path in life because of it. They're enhancing me, and I'm making changes, such as maybe if they wake up early in the morning, I might adjust my evening schedule to accommodate spending time with them. Maybe they have certain hobbies. I'm understanding that those hobbies make them feel good. I'm adjusting to those hobbies. I might begin to show interest in those hobbies. Those, I believe, are critical aspects of having a solid and healthy relationship and discovering things that you and that person are interested in. As I'm discussing these dating strengths with you, I hope that if you are dating or even married, that you can begin to see how these strengths can enhance your relationship as well. Number 3, and this took me a while to get here, because I have to emphasize that even these dating strengths need to be nurtured, and I didn't get here one day. I had to evolve in understanding that these are strengths and do the inner work to bring forth those strengths. So these strengths didn't just happen. It did involve me being conscious of it and working on it. So I want to back off changing a person's substance. That is a strength. What do I mean by that? Substantively, people have their temperament, they have their personality, they have their unique styles, and they have their quirks. My job and my goal as a person is not to change those quirky things that my spouse to be does, as long as they're not unhealthy. Because I have my quirks as well. I am not invested in controlling and changing that person's substance. I want to enhance what they have as much as I want them to enhance what I have, which is what I said in point number 1. And because I don't want to change the essence of their substance, that frees me to not be overly controlling towards them. Oh, have I had some things with my boyfriends that I have wanted to change? Yes. And some of them is why I'm not connected with them today. And I think those things are not quirks. Those are things that are changeable. Those are things that can be molded. And if that person is not willing to do very similarly things, maybe like taking care of their appearance a little bit more in terms of just their presentation, and it's not substantial, then I begin to question whether they're going to be adaptable to be in a relationship long term, because they're rigid in their ways. So I'm not trying to control your very substance. I'm trying to enhance those things. And if there are things I need to also do, I want to be focused on that. So my focus is not to devote all my energy to that person. What does that do? It allows me to back off and not be overly controlling. And that's really important. And I've found that as I've embraced that strength, I have peace in my life. That is for you guys who are dating and also married. So when I don't want to change a person's substance, what am I doing? I'm focusing on also what I need to improve. And I'm also focusing on the things that are important, not the trivial stuff, which sometimes we can focus on too much in relationships. Number 4, which is connected to number 3, my happiness is not rooted in controlling everything. It doesn't have to be exactly the way I want it in every area. That is a strength for me. And that took some time for me to evolve in this area. That means that I can relax. I can enjoy things that I'm not used to. I can open up myself to new experiences, and I'm not going to be overly reactive when things don't go my way. So I tend to be flexible. I tend to enjoy more things that I haven't experienced before, as long as I enjoy the person I'm in a relationship with. Number 5, I have very strong boundaries with loyalty. I don't go around shaming the person I'm dating, putting them down, minimizing who they are. I believe that if anybody gets to that point in a relationship, in your dating, you need to let them go. Number 6, I try not to be very, very important for me to respect the other person's decision. If the person is saying things that I don't like, such as I'm not sure about us getting married yet, or I don't know, give them that respect, give them room to explore that. But understand that when that person says no, they mean no. If they change their mind, they need to let me know if they change their mind. But I'm not going to be trying to whine them to say things that they don't mean so I can get what I think I want, then eventually be disappointed. I expect that anybody I'm interested in to be fully aware of their decision making, understanding that if they don't want to do it, they have a right to say no. And as hard as that may be for me to hear, I respect that, and it's helped me to do better in my sense of who I am. And instead of internalizing the rejection, understand that that is what they want. And I think number 7, I tend to do a lot more observing, which I think is a strength. Instead of subjecting the person to questions like a checklist. People are not a checklist. Human beings are complex. And this probably comes into play because of my profession as a psychologist. And I know that can be pretty disarming for people that I'm dating. Like, she's going to analyze me now. I'm not analyzing. I'm just looking for people's actions to actually match what they say. So yes, I'm not going to ask a whole bunch of questions. I don't think you can get to know somebody in a few, by answering some questions. I'm going to get to observe them, and I hopefully want them to observe me. And that is a strength. Another thing I love, and I think this is number 8, is I pray and I intercede for people that I date. I pray for them. If they have challenges, we pray about it. You know, they may not believe that that's something they should pray about. I'm like, oh, I'll be praying for you. Sometimes I actually pray with them about it, holding their hand. I'm praying that their lives will be blessed. Regardless of what the outcome is, I wish you well. I'm not embracing the bitterness of what had happened to me. I have a positive heart towards everyone I've met. So I pray for them. And then the other thing that I love, number 9, is that there's no scarcity in good people. And so it's been 14 years and I've been divorced. I'm not married yet. But I do not believe that there's scarcity in good people. I know there are good people out there. And there are people that could be compatible to me. And I'm open to that possibility. That is a strength. So I'm not overly hugging on people. I'm forcing them to do what they don't want to do. But I also have a sense of hope about relationships. So I'm not bitter. I have no bitterness in me. That is payback for what I went through, my relationship ending. I need to say here, after I've shared my dating strengths with you, I had to talk a lot about myself. So it's been pretty eye-opening even for me. But I have to say that no matter how amazing your strengths are, you're not for everybody. What you consider a strength and you're working on and nurturing may not be somebody else's cup of tea, and that's okay. Somebody else may be manipulative and they want a lot of drama. They will not fit with me, right? They want to waste my time. They want to play games. They want to see me fall apart, get back up. You will be amazed the number of people out there that like drama, even though they claim they don't like drama. They will not fit in with me because I'm serious about relationships. Relationships matter. And my time matters, my heart matters, and I'm gonna date people and treat them the way I want to be treated. So even if it doesn't work out, my reward is coming. And my reward always comes, right? Because I'm doing the right thing. Whatever I sow, I will reap. I may not reap it in that relationship continuing, but I reap it. Not just in another relationship that will lead to marriage, but in every area of my life. Because when good comes forth, that good spreads to other areas of your life. So these dating strengths have empowered me to be resilient, to be stronger, to be confident, and to approach every area of my life with a sense of purpose. I hope this has helped you. I want you to share with me what your strengths are in your relationship, whether you're dating or married, how you've nurtured those strengths, and how those strengths have helped you. Share it in the comments. I will respond, and that will also help other people. The fact that relationships can be challenges does not mean that relationships cannot also be healthy and positive. And in spite of my divorce, I want to emphasize that I feel positive about relationships. So if you're in one, feel positive about it. Play up your strengths and do some of the things I've shared with you today so that you can bring out the best in your relationship, in your life, and also in the person that you're in a relationship with. So please share this video and also subscribe. And I will talk to you next time by God's grace. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye now.